So again, as with the previous presentation, I'm not gonna be alone. There will be a Vladimír with me on the stage, and hopefully we can explain you what does it mean plug and play in the facial recognition. So, as already mentioned today, we introduce our powerful yet a bit low-level SDK, the iFace SDK, back in 2014, which was really powerful, but a bit hard to integrate or to implement into a ready-to-use solution. And as we already had really our morning presentation really dedicated to DOT, so basically implementing the facial biometrics on the mobile devices, we will be talking a bit about implementation of in slightly different use cases, which are the surveillance or access control use cases that can be now accomplished by our new product, which is called SmartFace. And hopefully you will get quite good insight into what the SmartFace can be used for and what it is capable of. In the SmartFace, there is still the very same brain, the powerful brain of the iFace SDK, but yet it's much easier to integrate, much better relevant for some specific use cases. So what are these use cases? Let me begin that you actually do not need SmartFace, right? You just do it all the way. You turn on all the cameras, all the screens. You sit back and start watching all the screens. Take notes, yeah. In case there is somebody that you want to that you think you should actually there should not be there on that particular screen, you just pick the phone and call the security guys, yeah. So you can do that. You can do it this way. Or you can leave it to technology. And that's where the SmartFace kicks in. So it's really a powerful technology that enables you to do these kind of things. So, wow. Interesting. This is a different picture than I prepared, but nevertheless. So what is SmartFace? It's a face recognition server platform. It can process multiple video streams in parallel. You can set up the watch list of the people that you would like to get notified in case these people are spotted in the cameras. You get these notifications in the real time without any delay. And of course, it goes further. You can get advanced statistics because we can estimate age and gender from these faces. The SmartFace is really hardware independent, so you can basically plug in any cameras that you need, and you have the powerful REST API to completely control the behavior of the SmartFace. So it really all begins with a camera. That's pretty much the thing that you need to start with. You just need to connect the camera to SmartFace, make sure it has the good position and light conditions, and all the fun begins. It really, with SmartFace, it's really as simple as that. You just plug in the camera. We'll see it in a minute. What happens next? Of course, what would be for facial recognition if you could not detect faces as soon as you plug in the cameras? And as you can see, the face recognition, the face detection is really powerful. It just works. It works even on such ugly face as mine. So there's the proof that it simply is working. Not mentioning the really bad light conditions, the backlight, or different angles. So it just works. That's the first thing. You want to be able to detect the face in the picture, in the stream, and you want to get notified. But imagine that you would get notified like constantly. Okay, this guy is there. He's still there. And still there, right? Do you want to get notifications, that many notifications for the very same person? Probably not. And that's where SmartFace is capable of doing the face tracking and recognizing that, okay, this is still the same person in front of the camera, and only send the notifications for that particular person only once. And let's, please, Vlado, if you could show this us in reality, in demo.
Sure, I will try to present you in live what Dano was talking about in the slide. So thank you, our guys from Hurricane, who helps us a lot, I think, these days, and also thanks to them, I think everything works pretty smoothly. So we brought here a physical server or a computer where we have installation of SmartFace. And I will connect to the graphical user interface of the SmartFace and show you in live how does it look like when you connect the camera or a video stream. So we will present firstly face detection and then face tracking. As most of our products with GUI, the interface is web-based. SmartFace is a, let's say, high-level SDK that comes with graphical user interface that comes as part of the package. Of course, the intention is that it is integrated sometimes into backend solutions, but for some use cases, it can be used directly with the provided GUI. As you can see, we don't have any cameras connected, so to show you how it works, we will just add very quickly new camera. We have two locations defined, so we will use the location Inno, such as Innovatrics. I'll simply add a camera, give it a name, let's call it video, and I input the video source. Normally, here you enter the RTSP link for the live camera, or you can process video files, what we will do in this case, because it was relatively complicated for us to install in such a short time cameras here on the wall. So I have prepared some links. So I will just add video stream, save changes. I go back to the main screen. Okay, there is some timeout, so I don't want to wait, so I just refresh the screen. It's a web interface. And you can see that we have a new camera or simulation of the live stream which appears. So firstly, you are able to see the footage in a miniature screen or minimized screen. You are able to get to the full resolution of the camera. And as you can see, there are red squares or rectangles which appear on my face and on my colleague's face. That's what we call face detection. I'm sure you will ask why it happens at this level, why it doesn't appear immediately after we come from the door. This is a parameter. Face detection is actually working on eye detection. So we need to detect the eyes on faces. And there is a parameter which is called minimal eye distance, so which can be set what should be the minimum eye distance so that the algorithm or the SmartFace considers it as face. So I will go back to live streams. And as Dano mentioned, immediately when there is a new face detection, we visualize most recent faces which appear in this horizontal bar. As this is a looped video, you see only two of us, but later you will see also more interesting features. Because I'm sure you are interested also in face recognition and face matching, and we are planning to this in another demo, which will follow after short explanation from Dano.
Thank you. So this is exactly what we've been talking about. Notification, real-time notification, as soon as we see the faces. But of course, that's not the only thing the SmartFace is doing. And I think only detect the faces would probably not be that interesting or not that useful. So that's why we do the next very important things, and which is the face matching. And we check, we compare each detected faces against the watch list that we can set up, and we can set up via the API or the user interface, and see immediately results from the matching. So as you can see on the right, the faces that are matched will be recognized and and the user or the system will be notified, the third-party application will be notified about such event. And there's another thing that we can do from the face. We can estimate the age and gender of the person. So, for example, Vlado is obviously male, and he's roughly 35 years old. So that's cool. I think it's kind of working. And this is really useful for some kind of statistics, because when you got more people, we will be talking about this later. So for now, just take a note that this is something that you are getting directly from the SmartFace. The watchlist management. Of course, you want to be able to set up the watchlist. You can, as mentioned, you can do it via the powerful API. You can do it via the interface. You can set up to hundreds of thousands records to this watchlist. So it's a really SmartFace by itself is really powerful in these terms. Of course, for larger watchlists, larger deployments, as we already seen in the morning, the perfect sense makes if SmartFace is connected to ABIS. Another really interesting and important feature of SmartFace is the face grouping. So imagine that you do not know the person that is in front of the camera. But this person can be spotted in front of the first camera, but also in front of the second camera, or in front of the same camera, but in a different date. And this might be really interesting and really important for you to get these kind of insights. And SmartFace is really capable of doing this. So the result is basically the same persons, even though the face has not been enrolled on the watch list, can be grouped into so-called identity, and this can be then later on analyzed, and there are really interesting data that can be used for different use cases. We will be talking about the use cases a bit later. But now, again, please, Vlado, show this in the real life on the demo.
Sure. Okay, can you guys please switch back to the PC screen? Thank you. So as you can see, we have one camera connected. We don't see any hits. Why is the case? Here we have only old hits from different dates, but these two persons are just detected, tracked, but not matched. The reason is because they are not present in any watch list. So what I will do right now, in a very simple way through the interface, I will click on this face, and I will try to add myself to the watch list. Okay, the age is a little bit flattering, but yeah, we made it on purpose this way. Okay, so I will add to watch list. You can define, I don't think there is a limit for number of watch lists. It's more depending on the sizing and the architecture, on the number of persons which are on the watch list and the use case. If it makes sense to have more watch lists, you can add any number you want. Here we have one which we call Fingera by accident. By the way, it's our time and attendance solution, so that's why it's, the watch list is named like this. And I just click on Add Face. Okay, I think I will give you my name.
By the way, all the things that you see here, of course, you can do it via the API.
Yes.
This interface is built on that API, so it's important. Basically, it's a showcase of what you can do.
So a simple confirmation, and should be in the watch list called Fingera. Yes, I'm the last person registered in this watch list, here in the bottom. And I will see how it affects the video or the camera that we have set up. I go back to live streams. We still see the faces appearing as new, most recent, but we see already me as being hits, and these hits are being added to the most recent hits. I didn't, okay, sorry Radka, I forgot to add you to the watch list, so I will correct this and quickly add also, okay, this is maybe not the best photo, so I will pick another one. I will quickly add face to the same watch list. Radka, I will fill in also the external ID and confirm. Now we have the both persons which are appearing on the stream in the watch list. And as you can see, they are being matched. So here in this vertical bar, we are displaying hits. Hits in our terminology means that these faces which are being found are being identified, so by one-to-one search in a defined watch list. We are able also to see confidence scores. So again, it's customizable. Of course, you can define your own thresholds as with all of our solutions. This might seem a little bit boring. So boring? I mean, SmartFace is able to process more than one camera stream. So let's add another camera. To the same location. Let's call it video 2. And we define again RTSP stream from an IP camera or okay, I think it's this one, and I think the one is called 6P, right?
Yep.
So 6P, okay, save changes. I go back. And we should have another video stream with more persons in it. So as you can see here, we have 6 persons walking in the stream. Some of them are in the watch list. So on the horizontal bar, every time new face is detected, it's displayed. In your environment, it can mean that you can set up SmartFace in a way it sends you alerts through an API every time when there is a new face detected, or you can set it only in a way that it gives you alert when there is a new hit, so a person is matched with somebody from the watch list. So we see, yeah, Radka, myself, Method, who will present later, and all the other guys. Yes, so this is what we call face recognition in SmartFace. Basically, you can add any number of cameras that you wish to the SmartFace with respect to the server's processing power. For that, we are able to provide needed sizing. So that's part of our consulting, part of our support that we give you. If you come to us with expected use case, with expected watch list that you want to monitor, that you want to identify, we tell you, okay, you need a server with such RAM and with so many cores so that it processes the faces smoothly. But it still uses the same face recognition algorithm as our ABIS, and it's really fast. It's one of the fastest on the market, so I think it gives you an advantage.
As we seen yesterday, pretty much this is exactly the use case for the wild category that we seen yesterday, which we are currently the best in the world. So I think this is another really key and strong point of the SmartFace. The algorithm that is behind SmartFace is the one that is currently the best in the world.
And for those of you who will not join the headquarter visit tour, so this is a sneak peek to it. Okay, so I think we forgot to mention the data view or the grouping.
Yeah, face grouping.
So that's what Dano was presenting a couple of minutes ago. So we have here we have a concentrated data view. I hope it will be loaded.
Hopefully.
Where you can filter the identities by date, by gender, which camera they appeared to, which watch list they belong, and by age. This is our idea of GUI representation. We imagine that the maybe 80% of use cases you will just use the alerts which you will pull from or which you will take from SmartFace, and you will integrate it into your own GUI. So for every identity, you see the age estimation, gender estimation represented. Yeah. Here, as you can see, we see the duration the person was in the camera, time of first appearance, time of last appearance in the camera.
So these are all the useful data that you can actually get from SmartFace. This grouping is being done on the background. It's basically a background job. You can configure how often you want SmartFace to group the faces and get the results. And Vlado, if you click on, for example, on Tomáš, hopefully we will see some data there. Yes, so this is the result of the grouping, right? This is the person that has been spotted several times in different locations, in front of different cameras. We didn't even have that person on the watch list, but we still somehow can identify that, all right, this was a identity, the very same person, and this might be useful in some use cases. For example, retail analytics. When we do not want to count one person several times, if we see that person in front of several cameras, but we want to count that person only once. So we want to have good statistics and clean data.
Okay. I think it's time to go back to presentation. So please, can you...
Okay, so a bit about the roadmap for this year. A feature called Smart Watchlist. As you can see, you can now pretty much upload any picture or more than one picture of a face of a person you want to get identified. But we want to do this smart way. We want to have the system be able to do it basically automatically. And this could really, really improve the performance of the system. So basically, as soon as we detect the same person, but slightly bit different conditions, so you see the original face was enrolled without the glasses. The new one was with glasses, maybe a bit of bird. We remember this new face as the one that is belonging to this watchlist member. And we can do it multiple times. And this really, really can improve the accuracy of the system. So the feature called Smart Watchlist. Another important thing that we are currently doing, we are integrating SmartFace with the major VMS providers. You could see our graphical user interface. Even though it's fantastic, it's nice. Of course, we do not want to compete with the VMS vendors. we want to be complement to their solutions. That's why we actually doing this out-of-the-box integration. So you just know that your client is using the Milestone VMS and he needs facial recognition. The SmartFace will be out-of-the-box ready solution for you to use. Objects detections, another important thing, step ahead. The only thing why I do not want this on the roadmap is because then we will need to come up with a different name of the product. It's not going to be just about the SmartFace, about the faces, but about other objects as well. And you can imagine the use cases. The main thing will be really to have API or the framework ready for basically for detecting any objects, not just faces, and also some intelligence behind to basically connect, for example, faces with bodies. So, okay, still the same person, not the different one. And now a bit about the use cases. So let's try to put it into perspective where the SmartFace can be used. What are the typical use cases which we've seen, which our customer sees, and basically all of those we already have some proof of concept in the game. So let's have a look at them.
Okay, so yeah, these use cases come basically from you. So we are listening to our customers. Sometimes we are really surprised which ideas we really hear and what are the requirements from a different part of the world. And yes, we try to reflect these requirements in our SmartFace product. We try to categorize these use cases that we see, that we hear, to, I think, 4 major categories. One category, which is not very strictly defined, but we call it access control. So imagine usage of SmartFace at the entry of an office building. You can create watch lists for the person who watched there, put a camera on top of the reception, and immediately you are able to see, or the guard can see who is entering, whether he is an employee, whether he is a person who should not be allowed in the premises. It can be used for intelligent door opening. Basically, that's what we do in our office. If you visit our HQ, you will see we have cameras connected to SmartFace server, and nowadays I'm even too lazy to open my door with fingerprints because it's too difficult. So I just put in the camera and the door opens for me. So this is really practical. Of course, you need to mitigate the security risks, but I'm sure there are many cases where SmartFace can be used and is really used for access control solutions. Next slide, please.
Sorry.
Which is airport usage. I think this topic was discussed here many times. It's an interesting topic. We started with registering people via DOT or using only their face instead of boarding ticket, which Rafa mentioned yesterday. But I think you know very good that every airport is very sensitive about security. In some airports, there are checks even before you enter the airport. So we see this requirement quite a lot. Companies managing airports, they want to have an overview who is in which area, under which camera, is this person on the watch list, on our internal watch list, is it on some Interpol watch list. So it really can be used for surveillance for people before checking in on the airport. The other use case which you can see if you go to Dubai airport, you have the intelligent live e-gates. You don't need to present your passport. It's tracking your face, and you don't even feel like you are doing anything, but you are checked. Your face is verified if it's really you who should be entering this zone or that gate. Yeah, I think that's
all right. The next use case being the VIP program. So this is actually the real use case from one of our customers. Imagine that you set up the watch list in a way that you put your VIP customers into the watch list as soon as they enter the premises of the store or any basically any point of sales or whatever. You get instantly notified. These customers can really get some great advantages. Not queue the line, for example, but go straight into front and do the business with you. So this is a real use case currently already SmartFace is being used for. And another really interesting use case where mainly the grouping functionality that we were showing can be used for retail analytics. So you can gather demographic data about your clients. So again, the real scenario, real use case from one of our customers. So you count how many visitors are visiting your retail stores per day, but this is not the only thing. You can estimate what is the demographic of these visitors. You can actually group the people, or you can see the patterns. For example, if they are mainly visiting the space around the camera 2 and 3, for example, you know that there is probably something that is really interesting, and you can get the advantage of this data. Of course, you can get the information about time spent in the store. That's pretty much the basic thing that you can get out of these data. And without pretty much anything you would need to do extra. This is out of the box in the SmartFace currently. So again, basically the last slide, the last information, a bit of recap. So SmartFace is a server platform, server face recognition platform. It is able to analyze multiple video streams or camera streams in parallel. It doesn't really matter if it is a video or it is a camera. You can set up watch lists, so you get notified if there is a person spotted in the camera or in the video that has been on the watch list. You will, of course, get real-time notifications. You can get information about age and gender of the persons that have been identified or detected. The SmartFace is hardware independent. You can plug in basically any RTSP-enabled cameras into it, and it has the powerful API, so you can really easily configure, easily deploy it into your solution. As you can see, the use cases are really different, nice, interesting. So that's it pretty much.